Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warship Blitz video. This video is the Z23, the Tier 8 German destroyer. So as you can see, it's got historical camo. I did enjoy the performance of the ship first up. So it's gone into my stable of ships that I will occasionally play. Now I have managed to grind my way all the way to the Tier 9, which I've yet to purchase, but still, we've made it. So I'm not sure why I ground all the way to Tier 9 if I didn't immediately go out and buy the ship. But anyway, for those of you that know me, my favourite tier is Tier 6 to Tier 8. Just has the best mix of ships and the right sort of meta. Feels really like a gun battle rather than just a torpedo stalk. So anyway, so here we are in the Z23. We've rushed into the cap, which is the most important thing to do in the Golden Channel. If you're in a destroyer and you are not immediately heading to the cap in full speed, you are letting the team down. This ship has particularly good range on its torpedoes and a particularly good reload. So what I do is I release them into those corners where those ships tend to collect up to hope for some early kills, or at least some early torpedo hits. Meanwhile, this Benson is charging through the cap, which to me indicates that it's very much bot-like behaviour. I don't want to get too badly damaged by him because he seems to have taken a liking to firing at me. So I turn away so that we put his shells off. He's firing at the next nearest enemy, guns at the battleship. Yep, that's certainly bot behaviour, and we basically see if we can get land some shots on him. And do we manage to get it done? I think someone else is going to take the kill off us. Here we go. He's dropping him behind the island, and we managed to get it. Now the AP, sorry, for the Z23 is particularly good and effective against destroyers. Thoroughly recommend it. And as you can see, the torpedoes have reloaded. So for some of these ships, some of these lines, like the Japanese lines, you really need to take care and ration your torpedoes carefully, and I'm not very good at it. But for other lines with a relatively good reload, such as the French destroyers, like the two premiums, and these German destroyers, they have a reasonable range of torpedoes and a reasonable reload time. So don't be afraid to launch them if you know you've got a period where you're going to be doing something where they can sort of charge themselves back up. Obviously, don't shoot them away at random, because sometimes if you're in a battle, they're a fantastic anti-destroyer weapon. And the way that I use them, and I've said this a few times, but I'll say it again, is that you fire the torpedoes where you want the enemy, you don't want the enemy to go. So you use them as a channeling tool. They are very, very rare to be able to get a torpedo hit on a dodging destroyer by trying to aim deliberately at the destroyer. The most important way and the most effective way I've found to get those destroyers into your torpedoes is to target the part of the ocean which is most beneficial for them and most detrimental for you. So here we are, we're back in the cap. The enemy took it. One of the reasons to have a destroyer in the cap, if you're a destroyer, and I generally stay inside the cap, is that torpedoes are a really good way to flush battleships out of the cap. Battleships do not like torpedoes. Destroyers can avoid them, and cruisers can generally avoid them. But a wall of torpedoes is a good way to motivate a ship to get itself somewhere that it doesn't need to be, which is inside the cap where you need to be. And these games are won and lost by the cap. Every now and again, you cannot take the cap and you can win by eliminating the competition. But it just takes one smart player to realise that they're too far ahead on points and they can lead you on a merry race around this map. So you really need to take the cap. So if you're a destroyer captain and you're playing World of Warship Blitz and you get the Golden Channel or the cage, get inside the cage, get inside the Golden Channel, capture that map for your team. If you're a battleship player, then you absolutely must get yourself far enough forward to be able to protect that asset, which is that cap. So here I'm turning away. We really have the advantage here. We've got a good team. And the fact that they're not having to try and perform sort of remediation work by recapturing the cap is actually a really important factor. So although it may seem that, we're resting on the teammates' laurels, the fact that they've got the cap and they can organise themselves to most effectively deal with the competition rather than trying to organise a whole lot of random internet players to recapture an objective is actually a real advantage. And that's the real advantage of taking the cap, by the way. The super advantage of being in that cap, taking it and holding it, is that your team's strategic options are a lot simpler, and in a game like World of Warship Blitz, where your teammates consist of a random people picked from the internet, that is actually a really, really, really important factor. So, well, here we go, taking on this Cleveland. Yeah, I'm not really sure of the wisdom of that, but hey, we've got plenty of spare ships, and it's pretty impressive if you manage to pull it off. I get some torpedo shots out. He manages to dodge the first of those. How we going? Oh, he's targeting the he's targeting my mate, but we managed to get him on fire. He's trying just for that easy kill. I've got way too much health for him to worry about me, but we managed to sink that Cleveland. Nothing like, you know, having a bit of support or just even a decoy to help you get the job done. So there you go. There's the Z23 in the Golden Channel. It is just like any other Golden Channel destroyer. Full steam ahead into a cap. Use your torpedoes to flush the bad guys out of the cap. Hold it to the end of the game. And yeah, make the strategic options for your teammates very easy by not having to try and coordinate a push into the cap, which for 7 strangers across the internet with no means of communication apart from a few simple commands that don't have anything to do with the task at hand, that is actually a pretty tricky strategic sort of objective to obtain. So yeah, make it easy for your team. Grab that cap and yeah, do your business. So here we go. Final, we're up against the Sen Yang. I love these Pan-Asian destroyers. They are absolutely priceless because, well, they just really don't have the options to deal with the good old-fashioned you know, these German DDs. So yeah, unfortunately, my torpedo traverse is not really up to the task, but still, at least that guy knew that his torpedoes weren't going to do anything to me. What he tried to do was move in close, fast, past me, so that my torpedoes couldn't be brought to bear and he'd get through to the end of the game, retaining some points, which is all he really had to try and salvage at that point. Anyway, there is the Z23 in the Golden Channel. A bit of advice there, and yeah, so it's a fairly good score, not great damage, but then again, it's a pretty scrappy game, but that's the sort of games that I like. Yeah, and we got some torpedo hits, which is pretty nice, because normally this is a bit of a gunboat for me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching that. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time for another World of Warship Blitz video.